So I've recently uploaded the video with this thumbnail, but I've got a confession to make. A few of you may have actually seen it when I uploaded the original version of it last night. It had 31 views. But what happened was I recorded it, I uploaded it, and then what I tend to do is just watch them back or listen to them back just to make sure I've not made any glaring errors. And when I was listening to it through, I thought, oh, you've made a foolish error. So I basically set the visibility to private because I didn't want to feed the world with misinformation. What happened was when I did the calculation with the little calculator on the screen, I got the decimal figure and just didn't multiply it by 100. So therefore, the percentage given, even though it's a fraction of 1%, and it's still a fraction of 1%, which is the actual number, it was wrong. So what do? You don't try and validate yourself. You don't try and perpetuate the lie. You take responsibility for it. You take ownership. You realise that you're saying something that could mislead people. You know, if kids watch this and see me giving an example, stating, "Oh, this is the percentage," and I'm calculating it wrong, but they get to believe that that's the way you calculate a percentage, then I'm negatively impacting them. I'm giving them the wrong information that then they'll believe because they've seen it on YouTube. They've seen a video and that's how it's done on the video, and that's going to impact them. That's going to negatively impact them. So I couldn't leave that video visible. So I've took that down. I've redone it. I corrected my error. And now what I'm doing is explaining to you that that's what I've done. It's not hard, really, is it? It's not hard to take ownership of a mistake if it's a mistake. The problem becomes is when it's not a mistake and you're just trying to still get away with what it is you did. Now, the thing is, the reason they're getting away with what it is they did is because so few people truly realise it. When you realise that there were 108.7 million people who viewed that event, and of those, whilst there is a huge number of those people that will say this is fixed, this is manipulated, because Sir Lewis Hamilton himself stated this has been manipulated, man. And a lot of people know that to be true. They will know that the FIA misinterpreted the rules. They made an error. The FIA themselves have stated as such that they applied the rules in a way they've never been done before, so it's wrong. So they've stated that. But the truth of the situation isn't that. The truth is, and this wasn't just it all happened so quickly and we all got confused and nobody knew quite what was what, so we just made an error. That is a cover story. That's a cover story. You look at the contrivance of events, things don't happen the way they did unless they've been contrived a certain way. Now, I'm not telling you that every team and everybody involved knew that it was going to happen the way it did. Okay, that's not going to happen that way. Okay, but what there was an agreement between the relevant parties to effectively just go with whatever happens. Okay, just go with it. Don't call it out, and you'll see. You know, ultimately, it's for the benefit of the show, and you'll all benefit. Okay, and that is essentially what's happened. And the contrivance has occurred between the main perpetrators of this. And again, I will demonstrate that in videos as we go through. But what we've really got to do as a collective, and it has to be done as a collective. I can't do this on my own because you can see that in over 2 years of trying to campaign, firstly on Facebook, now on YouTube, the number of people that I can reach is still minuscule. Okay? The video that I first did, the very first video I did with 7,800 views, where it breaks it down with the tracker view, showing you what was happening, only 7,800 people have seen that. And that is it's a fraction of 1% of the audience have seen it and seen it that way. So whilst they know that the event was contrived, whilst they know it is fixed in as much that the governing body changed the rules and therefore the result changed because of that, and they're outraged by that, they won't understand the depth of it and the true mechanics of it. And it's waking people up to seeing who was involved and how it was done, because once people actually see that, they'll see the other aspects of their life where this same mechanism takes place. Every time something happens, governmental decisions that are impacting us, the same mechanics go on. Okay, whatever goes on in this world, the same mechanics apply. We're told last winter, when the energy prices for gas and electricity, for heating your home, for powering essential things for your lives, okay, that you're reliant on, oh yeah, the cost of them has gone up ridiculously, and we're all in this together, and we're all gonna have to foot the bill of this, and it's all down to Brexit, and it's the war in the Ukraine, and it's just the difficulties, and it's a global shortage of the fossil fuels or whatever, and the supply of them, whatever they want to bullshit us, right? So that's what we were told. And then when they tell us, oh, well, as a government, we're going to do something really nice for you. We're going to give each household £400 towards them bills to soften the blow. So this is £400 per household, which is taxpayers' money, which should be going into public services, things such as healthcare and education, right? And instead, it goes into the pockets of the energy companies. We're going to give you your money to give to them, and they make record profits. But they don't tell it you like that, do they? They don't tell it you like that. They give you their story. They give you all their excuses. And that's just a tiny example of how they do this sort of shit. So once you see how they did it in Abu Dhabi, then you can then look at the other things that you know are wrong in life and apply these mechanics. And once everybody starts waking up and doing that, maybe just then, they can't get away with it anymore. Maybe we can have change in this world. But we've got to do something about it, because it's not going to change of its own accord. These people in those positions, they don't give a shit about any one of us. The only thing they care about is themselves, their profits, their shareholders, their own personal wealth, their own personal status, and what they can get out of it. There is no collective amongst them. They don't care about you. They don't care about me. They don't care about what our lives consist of. They care about themselves. And that applies to each and every one of them. And as long as it's working for them, they don't give a shit about anything else. So we need to start looking at this. And if you want to make a change, you have got to take responsibility yourself for waking others up. Because the message, this dynamic, they don't want people to wake up in this way. They don't want you to see it, because once people start working together, once everybody starts calling them out for it, they won't be able to get away with it anymore. So it's only at a point in time where people work together to achieve change that change is going to happen. Because whilst we're fragmented, whilst people remain ignorant, whilst people remain apathetic and aren't bothered, it'll just continue. It will just continue. So I need help, and that help needs to come from everybody. And that means you sharing the information. It means that you share these videos that you think are important with others so that they get to see them. Because we need to increase this proportion that know about this from 0.007% up to 100%. We need to make everybody see what is truly going on. But that's not going to happen organically. Okay, and there's only so much I can do in terms of creating videos and putting them out there and seeing how far they reach. I can try and promote them myself using my own social media, but that's got a limited reach. So what I've now done, I've rebranded my Instagram account, rebranded my Twitter account, rebranded my Facebook account, and I've actually rebranded my TikTok account, which was pretty weak anyway. And I'm going to start posting shorts in trying to hit an audience that way as well. But I'll put the links to those accounts in the description of this video. If you can start following those accounts too, we'll try and start building the platforms building the channels on each of those platforms with the intent of trying to expose the truth to a bigger audience and hitting the audience on each of those platforms to make them see the truth. Together, and it is together, we've got to do this collectively, because nobody can do this on their own. There are several other channels. FF1 is campaigning. Okay, Boy 10 Dio, he'll tell the truth. Lex F1, he'll tell the truth. NS&C, they'll tell the truth. The Daily Cynic, they'll tell the truth. And some of you already know, Wonderful, he'll tell the truth. But none of us can do this on our own. Okay, none of us can do this on our own. So collectively, we have to start trying to get everybody else to see. So please play your part in getting people to see what's going on by using your platform, your own social media, to start posting this stuff so that it starts waking more and more people up. Thank you for your time. More to come very shortly.